think we're live, man.
No, not us.
I think so. I really have no idea how any of this works or what I'm
No,
looking at, but
it does say live on my screen.
it says live. Okay, cool. There's a place where people. All right, so yeah, we've got it. I believe I have it set up here where if anybody jumps in and talks, I will be able to see what they're commenting on, and that way we can respond.
Cool.
And we should have super chats and whatnot enabled too, which means if somebody wants us to respond, they can be like, "Hey, here's $5. Here's an alarm. Look at me. Answer this question."
I will answer question for $5. Yes.
It's very interesting when you watch some other like streamers, other content creators and whatnot when they have the super chat stuff going. Some of the amounts of money that people will just put out there, and then two, the reasons why or the things that they'll want them to say or do or whatnot, and it's absolutely absurd.
I used to watch a streamer. I mean, he's popped around on a couple different platforms, but I literally one night he was doing one of his his Saturday stream where he plays a scary game or whatever the theme is that day, and there was one guy that was like a retired vet, literally dropped $1,000, like $50 at a time over like 2 hours, and then it was just so he could get his name on the screen, and it's just like, holy crap, dude.
I mean, you got to do your marketing either way. That was the whole WNBA fiasco, not too far back in history there. That was supposedly a marketing stunt for some company that had that green product they were throwing out there to get attention.
No. You silly. This was a crisis. It was a crisis, okay?
Yes. Surprisingly, there wasn't an organic movement for people to throw those items onto the court out of nowhere. Who'd have thunk it?
I think some dude bros might have talked about that at one point.
Yeah, probably some wackos with some crazy theories on things.
I got some nice beards, though.
Some nice hair, man.
Look at that wavy lock. It's just, oh. But a lot of shit going on the past couple of days, man. It has been
crazy times, man.
Been very much fooled. I mean, you don't even know where to put your eyes. It's just wow. I mean, where do you even want to start? I mean,
well, we had that whole birthday note or whatever come out in the middle of our last talk. That episode airs Monday.
Pretty picture.
And it wasn't 24 hours after that Charlie Kirk, that tragedy occurred.
That absolute tragedy. Yes, I agree fully. That is just disgusting. I don't care which side you're playing for. That is just absolute disgusting, man. So I got nothing good to say about that.
Yeah, nobody should be cheering on anything like that. That's vile. But at the same time, we won't get into any of that stuff.
Yeah, condolences. God with his family, prayers, all that. God rest him.
Yeah. So I had sent you something on X for you to look at. I thought that was funny. What'd you think of that, man?
Man, which one? Hold on. I've had a bunch come through in the past couple.
Oh, I'm talking about with Shaq.
Oh, again, with Shaq, because he does everything now.
That is very true. That is so true.
It's like he's got to have a couple clones running around in meetings, right? I mean, my God. It's
Kevin
like
Hart
he's a Papa
skit.
John's guy. He's got like Hot Topic. I mean, he is very diversified. He's got a very big portfolio. A lot of places.
There's a show, docuseries, whatever word is the correct way to describe it, on the YouTube right now, and it's Shaquille O'Neal with Reebok. You know, he's president of Reebok basketball and rebranding it
Oh,
and all of
yeah,
that stuff.
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson, VP, and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. I actually have been watching that, and I will say my opinions of Shaq were drastically altered after the first episode of that. I think the very much the first episode, he's kind of portrayed as a bully, kind of just big dogging everybody for no reason. And even when he comes across as trying to be like joking around, it still seems very much like overbearing and forced and whatnot.
Sure.
But really, I think they stretched it out too long. I think they could have had that as a 3-part or maybe even 2-part series, you know, hour-long chunks and everything on there. I feel like the last like 4 episodes are his, you know, goober biscuit son being like, Dad wants me to be in Reebok, but I still want to play basketball, but I had my injury, but I don't know if anybody will take me, even though, you know, I'm tall as shit, I'm decent at basketball, and I'm Shaquille O'Neal's son. I don't know if there's the Sacramento Kings, if they want me to come play for them, and Dad's going to be pissed. I'm going to have to tell Dad. I don't know. And it's like literally half of each episode of all that is maybe 4 or 5 sentences that get repeated over and over and over again by him. And
I think Cat Williams had a joke about his son and his skin. Calm down.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, my man. Now we got somebody in the chat here. We got a G Brackman or something like that says, "Let's go."
Cheers.
Yeah, excuse me. But yeah, so I will say the portrayal of Shaq from the second episode through the whole rest of the end of that is much more positive. It makes him not out to be kind of aggressive and a bully after that point. But I don't think he was too involved in the editing and had too much maybe liberty as to what went into there, because they kind of put him as a negative light. They make him look kind of juvenile in some situations and kind of off of his game and maybe not making the best decisions. Like when he's talking about the new shoe, you know, their new thing he's coming behind, the way that the documentary portrays it is him being a child. You know, I don't like this color code. I need other colors on here. And then when they're presenting it to him, of course, the little ambiguous designer duo there is upset that he didn't like their design at first. You know, the classic story, you know. And they're like, so we just slightly altered the green to a different green, you know, like basically
begrudgingly
saying like we barely did anything at all. And then he's like, oh yeah, this looks good. And they're like, it's crazy what just a slight change, you know, basically trying to say we didn't do anything but slightly change a shade, whereas you're making it seem like we did something different and all this.
Brand new shoe, totally different shoe. Yeah,
but
doesn't even look like the first one at all.
But if you go back to the beginning, that's literally all he's saying is he's like, I like the way this looks. I just want the color change. But the way that the whole thing is shot makes it look like it's a big controversy and he's throwing a fit when he's literally just saying, hey, get a new color scheme. But they stretch it out and recut and play the same scenes from different angles and zoom in on the, you know, designers' little,
that's,
you know,
drama, kid.
faces. Yeah. That's why I will never agree to any kind of documentary thing or anything like on me unless I have some control over it all, because they can go crazy just trying to, you know, stir up content for no reason and whatnot.
Well, I mean, look at what they did with Vince McMahon with Netflix. This whole documentary, you know, that started out just could be like, you know, we're just going to talk about Vince and this is Vince, and like mid-filming, it's like Vince is a sexual predator and a trafficker of people. It's like, oh shit.
I mean, to be fair, there is a lot of content there that you don't have to fabricate. You know what I'm saying? It's there's a lot
and
of
he
stories
tried to
there.
buy him out of it too, man. I mean, he tried to buy it all, and they're like, "No, we think we got a good one here. We're gonna keep this one." But yeah, that's It's funny how, I guess that's what's everything though. I mean, whoever's got control, you're going to get their, scope on whatever they're observing. You know what I mean? So
It's the nature
I'd
of the
be
game.
I'd be interested to know if Shaq had. I would have a hard time believing Shaq didn't have a heavier hand in that, because Shaq, against popular belief, is very much, I'm going to let the people that are working for me do their job, but I'm going to know what the hell's going on. So I don't know. He might play a character on TV where he's a little, not Charles Barkley kind of slow or anything, but
The way he comes across on there is as somebody who is very much wanting to micromanage and be involved in all aspects and all levels, even when they're not necessarily qualified. And then also is coming, and I think he said he was the like CEO of humor, the president of comedy, or something like that. And he comes in there, and then the camera shows him, this giant creature bearing down on like the tiniest lady or dude or whatever going by, and just makes it where they are very much look like they're being assaulted or something almost. And he's trying to go into it like, I'm the front boss, haha, I'm joking around with these people, and makes it seem like nobody's
Well, they're
receptive.
terrified.
But it very much cuts through most of it. It's very selective. So, I mean, there's no, they clearly only chose the people that maybe he caught off, but maybe somebody's in the zone or listening to their podcast or whatever, and then, Shaq grabs your shoulder while you're listening to, whatever, a true crime documentary or something, So that's understand. But on that note, I was talking about the clip that was sent on X, and it was about Shaquille O'Neal going to the zoo and going past the albino silverback gorilla, and they had said, don't make eye contact. He's fairly aggressive and all that. And it was him and another basketball player. I forgot the name, but they walk through there, and Shaq is walking. Then he gets like halfway through there, and he just turns, and locks eyes with it. And it immediately like runs and full jumps into the glass. And the other dude's like, that's the only time I've ever seen Shaq scared in my life. He was like, damn, that did get aggressive,
That's good stuff.
But,
that's just good stuff.
That is terrifying. I've seen a few videos where, it comes and jumps at the glass. I've never had one jump at me, thankfully, but that would be truly terrifying,
Well, I mean, I've seen them where it cracks the glass, and
That's
then
what I'm
the
saying.
guys are like, "Hey, everybody, get back, get back."
I saw some stuff in Africa like that where they've got places where they're in these sanctuaries, you can go and interact with the elephants and whatnot, and there's literally just a wall between you and them, and that sounds like something that is going to protect you, but I mean, it's literally, like a 10-foot high wall, and it's like a brick wall that they can easily go through should they get disturbed and whatnot. But it's made where you get to the top of it and interact with them if you want, but also give them their space and all that. But people don't realize a lot of these illusions of containment and for your safety are not very thorough.
No, I've seen Jurassic Park.
I've seen every Jurassic Park. There's a theme there.
All 62 of them. It's the same. They just can't quite figure it out,
Hey, we'll review every one of them.
Bet your ass.
Maybe a little less boat talking in the next one, and we'll be
a lot
better. No getting stuck in some House of Dinos. No long conversational boats. Stick with the basics. We're good.
Check us out on Rewind.
Yeah, Bros Rewind. Our next thing coming up, Beer Fest.
Ooh, Beer Fest!
Although I really enjoyed revisiting Tropic Thunder as well, going through that. That's out now. A lot of shorts, good content. We do our recasting of all the characters. It's a fun time for all.
Yeah, I think we all had our own little stuff to add on that, and they all came out. Yeah, I was very pleased with all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's my all-time fave. Good stuff,
How about it?
On the subject of other media content that we put out, we've got Sports Ball Talk. And I made some predictions, even set some lines days before Vegas did concerning a certain game that, I wonder if they'll cover it.
Well, if you're speaking about the boys up north there playing on
your
Friday,
boys.
hey, I've been preaching them up, man, since last year until they got their ass kicked in the playoff. But like I said, I before we hopped on here, I was actually watching a chunk of the game, and I believe Indiana was up 38-0 with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. And Indiana State had collectively negative 14 yards of total offense. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think they're going to cover.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody said something about that a while ago, but
I don't know. We might have a clip or a short running now that has the numbers.
Gadzooks, yeah.
Holy cow, Batman.
Oh, the humanity. But I will say, even though the game is lopsided, scores 45-0 at halftime for anybody out there curious or not wanting anything. I think that is still a good fan base there. I mean, the tickets were $23, I think, was the absolute cheapest they ever were, and then they ended up being $35. Let me check real quick. Yeah, they ended up being like 35 or something, so still solid.
They covered the popcorn. Yeah, they covered the popcorn.
That's unlike a certain other team that we discussed out there. Come on, Colgate. Come on, step up.
$3, dude. That is I said, it's got to cost more to print the ticket, right? I mean, my God. To have the guy hand the person the ticket, it's got to cost more than $3.
Right. But if you're an alumni there, I mean, I would think you have at least some shred of pride in your school. So just buy the season tickets. You got a $20 bill, or at least show some
I'll buy
support
this
for
row
it.
all year. Here's a hundo.
Yeah, I mean,
jeez,
that's a couple seasons. I think you get 2 or 3 out of that. So, or maybe you get that, but you get a free beverage, free popcorn each time or something. Pickle, get a pickle. Those are big now.
Donated by everybody's grandma collectively.
Or grab yourself a glizzy and get on the latest social media trend and slurp that up.
I was just going to say, we were talking about tailgate numbers, how they're kind of on the rise for college football and all that. I wonder what a tailgate looks like for like Colgate's homecoming. Like, what's the turnout for that deal?
Those 80s movies where it's the middle school dance and you got the boys on one side and the girls on the other, and there's like 4 kids in there. I think it's like the 4 kids in the middle of the middle school dance, the one like awkward boy girl
so
combo.
Like Footloose, that kind of the barn scene. Jeez.
Man. Fun times, though. I will say, on the note of that, I still think LSU has the best tailgating experience that I've been to and participated in. Then after that, actually, Auburn had a pretty good one. Went to one for the Auburn-Georgia game one time, and a little more grown-up experience that I had there, that side of the tailgating. But it was very fun. And I will say, if you truly go and are open to being part of the like tailgating community, interacting with the different people there, being there getting there early, putting in the time, being a community, even if it's just very temporary, that's such a great experience. And plus you get to have all the meats, you get with this dude's kielbasa, he's grilling over here. You get a burger from over here, grab a glizzy over here,
Whoa. Talking about kielbasas and glizzies, guy. I was thinking more like Boston butt, maybe some brisket.
That's what I'm saying. You get
pork
that
rib,
chili especially when the weather starts getting a little bit nippy.
Yeah,
that was one. So for the Auburn Georgia tailgate that I went to, I think I had 5 or 6 different chili, like different people's chili, just going talking to different people. They're having a drink or whatever. You're talking about this, talk about that. Hey, you want some of this? And then, you got your chili.
Yep. Turns out I do.
I didn't get this big by not eating,
So what else we got?
Well, there's more updates on the 3-Eye Atlas. We know we've tried to put several different videos out, and they kept getting flagged. Yeah.
I said, no. You don't talk about this.
Ridiculous. But this is live, so,
Well, if we come down real fast, you guys know why.
So, geez, I don't think this channel, there's been an update really in several weeks, even though we've been talking about it.
Right.
Trying to think. So for anybody not up to date, it's half the size of our sun now in terms of everything that it truly encompasses as we're getting here. They're no longer classifying it as a comet. They are classifying it as a interstellar object, just it's having a blanket term of we don't really know what this is. The behavior isn't really anything we've particularly observed one way or another. I don't know if this one went out. I think the one where we talked about it was illuminating. It was self-lighting. It appeared to be emitting a green glow now,
Well, I think the way one of the people that were reviewing it was they kind of related it to a car turning its headlights on, because that's the only kind of I mean, that's exactly what he said. He's like, for the layman's terms, it would be like if a car or a truck turned their headlights on.
Well, that's Avi Loeb. He always tends to lean towards, we'll say, extraterrestrial life, extra solar life, extra stellar life.
I just thought that was funny because I was going through the things and I was like,
So you got to think there is a lot of plasma that is being created there, and plasma can illuminate. Plasma does. I mean, the sun, for instance, has some plasma in it. You might have
just a wee bit.
But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on with that. I don't know how much we can say. Maybe we'll circle back to that if we talk about whatever other stuff we want to go to there.
Okay.
Actually, let me go back to the Shaq story real quick, because I did enjoy that. I've never been particularly too deep into basketball. I mean, I enjoy the sport, but I have so many other sports that are passion projects that I played. I mean, I played basketball too, don't get me wrong or whatever. But I haven't followed I haven't got too deep in the weeds, we'll say, for a lot of it, right? That's fair. So I really enjoyed this peek that allowed me to see a different side of some of these characters that I was unaware of. I really liked it showing the different portrayals of some of these young up-and-comers, because part of Shaq's whole marketing scheme was, we're going to snag these young cats here, and in all the different things. We got people going the traditional route. We got people going straight out. We've got people playing here. And there were some very cool little behind-the-scene things that you saw there. First of all, before I get any deeper in that, have you been a basketball guy at all, or are you kind of the same boat as me? I know GB's basketball.
Yeah, GB's definitely more versed on basketball, as far as especially going back. I only started watching basketball seriously, and that's seriously just college basketball. I still don't even watch that much NBA stuff unless it's like the playoffs or whatever. But yeah, college basketball I enjoy now, but that was the last 3 or 4 years. Bama got good, so I was like, maybe I will watch basketball now.
That's fair. So I actually, my grandmother was associated with a lot of, we'll just say, the travel and logistics, some of that kind of hospitality side of the house stuff for the major football teams in Alabama, Auburn and the University of Alabama. And so throughout my life, I've been able to kind of have access to some of these coaches, because there's been peaks where Alabama's got this really great coach, here Auburn, and right now Auburn, obviously.
Auburn.
So
yeah,
been kind of spoiled in that regard, and probably didn't fully appreciate it since I wasn't some hardcore basketball dude.
right.
But I think just from watching this, I definitely formed opinions about some of these young cats. And so when he's kind of interviewing it out, I'm like, oh, that dude doesn't belong on Team Reebok, And then the guy gets it, and I'm like, oh, no. And then the other dude, I'm like, oh, we got to have him. When we get him, I'm like, yeah, I'm rooting for this brand that I have no vested interest in, right? And almost like they arranged how they.
Oh yeah. Hey man, that's good TV.
It was interesting because there were certain times where he had to send like his son or send somebody else from Reebok to go visit with the person because he had to go visit this other person. Mm-hmm. And you get to see who he's choosing. And is it he thinks this person's a better fit, or he already thinks this person is going to say no and is just kind of doing lip service? Because I mean, first of all, anybody out of the state of Oregon is pretty much you're writing them off to Nike, all the way down to the high school level. They've already got sponsorship, agreements, exclusive rights to do this or that, or you have to represent this way or that way. So,
oh yeah, I mean, you were talking about how they got a whole bunch of box seats that are literally just presents for up and coming talent or celebrities, or
for kids in there, for the families of the kids, really, if you're getting down to brass tacks of it. But yeah, it's
you had already touched on that, I think, in maybe episode 3. We talked on that a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds about right. This is Sports Ball Talk for anybody.
Sports Ball Talk.
Dude Bros Sports Ball Talk. Go check it out.
Dude Bros Sports Ball Talk.
Man, you threw me off with that.
I'm sorry. So catchy. Nike, money, kids, box seats.
Nike, money, kids, box seats. That sounds like a song. Nike, money, kids, box seats. Nike, money. So the one kid from Oregon, you're rooting for him there. I really liked Dink. It was probably my favorite kid out of there. I'd already seen a few snippets of him play, liked what I saw, and then I really liked how he portrayed himself there, and he really seemed like high energy,
right?
Really, really genuine, nice cat, but very much also seems 100% basketball. Like his brain might be just a basketball filled with basketballs, like he is.
Sounds like Troy Aikman.
Yeah, like pretty much with football. Yeah, but he's everything.
And that's fine, dude. If that's you, man, those guys are very successful.
I think if he keeps his head right where it is right now, he's going to be the phenom. You know how we were kind of talking how there's not been too much breakout, and you haven't had these superheroes in college football, and really in basketball, you've kind of been in a LeBron era for 500 years now. But I think he might be a player that really, over the next 2 years, we'll really see what happens. But I think he's going to develop into something special unless something goes wrong up here, because he's where he needs to be right now. He's dialed in.
We were talking about Carson Beck the other day, so prime example of stop paying attention to the shit that's important.
Well, we talked about that in episode 3 too, so you'll see my opinions there. Go watch, go listen. Well, what do I want to say? Did you have anything you wanted to say about the Charlie Kirk stuff first? Because I know right now there's a lot of crazy stuff going around, all both ways, all conspiracies, left, right, up, down, center, crossways. So much disinformation, misinformation. Yeah. Look at this, look at that.
Yeah. The whole thing upset me, and I'm pretty good at compartmentalizing and not getting emotional with stuff. But it's not even that I have this fairy tale that Charlie Kirk was the best man on the planet and all this, that, he had no, I'm sure he had his flaws. I did not know him personally, but it's less about for me, it's less about like it's very sad he got shot, but they weren't really shooting him. They were trying to kill like what he stood for, and I don't think that's gonna pan out the way they thought it would. You know, and that's sad.
Who's the they you're referring to right here?
The side of the aisle that shot him.
Oh, that's debatable, depending on how you're looking at it. I mean, it's as someone, well, just say a lot of what occurred looked very professional and coordinated to me. And then you had what 3 or 4 different, red herrings arrested within the first 24 hours and then let go, and all kinds of very suspicious, we won't go too deep into any of that, but a lot of people think maybe somebody in power did that to take attention off of them. Some people think maybe our friends across the pond in that one place that always is doing the things, maybe they didn't like what Mr. Kirk was saying about them recently. Mm-hmm. All I know is there was a book that was published the day before he was shot about him being shot. That is interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. And like I said, I'm not real sure how far we're leaning in because I don't want to get quickly blacklined. But
right.
No, I watched the video like before all of them got pulled down of him actually being shot. And it was a little bit wider of a thing. So, because the first few people were like, "Oh no, he's fine, he's fine." I was like, "No, I've seen, no, he's not fine, he's not fine." And it was just sad because.
Well, hold on. I will say there's something called spalling because he was wearing a vest, and what went up into his neck was a fragment that went up, hit the artery right there, and the rest is history,
Yep.
So perhaps that might lean more towards the whole something choreographed, and that was not what was expected to happen, and an unfortunate occurrence, and maybe somebody didn't do it anyway. There's a lot of ways to go with
that. Yeah.
But the point being that, for the record, and as someone who did see from many different angles all the videos before any of them were taken down, and has copies of everything, as always, keeps everything. That 100% is what occurred. It was not a direct impact there.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
No, just saying. I've seen the stuff, so it was. Even if you want to go, this was a choreographed deal. That did not go the way it was supposed to. So, as soon as I saw the deal, I knew it was the thing. It was over.
Well, you got baseball signals over here, but if you actually do a quick internet search and, well, no, I'm not talking about the hat. You're looking at the guy right next to him. You do a quick internet search and see what you're doing there. You're literally saying sniper, take the shot. If you were to look at what the pictures and what the motions do, or, if you've been through the training and know what it is, that's what it is. So, anyway, that definitely did occur. And funny thing is, a person who was right there behind his right shoulder was also the same person who was right there behind Trump's right shoulder when his ear got a little haircut nick in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just interesting coincidences.
Well, shit didn't go the way it was supposed to, regardless. And Mr. Kirk is no longer with us. But regardless, even if you take the, war game it, and this was planned, and this was to spur a movement and all this, it's still going to do that.
So on the subject of spurring movements right now, Google Analytics, you can look and see that the term Civil War they have a scale that goes 0 to 100. And it shows, basically how much something was being searched or viewed within the last week. And from where it was a week ago to where it is now, the scale goes up and it's at 100, which means from the way they measure it, it is not possible. It is the maximum amount of people that are looking at, meaning as the math works out, every person engaging with YouTube is engaging with some form of content related to the term Civil War, which we're contributing just from me saying that right there. Obviously,
bad.
that's
bad, bad dude.
But that's crazy. That's the. It is amazing what people are reacting to and how everything seems to be feeding into that, and it's the whole meme, the stick figure with the stick. Come on, do a Civil War.
They've been poking that thing for a hot minute now, man.
Well, there's more and more nonsense occurring, but I understand that he's a public figure, or he was a public figure. Belay my last. I say that incident that occurred at the Catholic school with like 20 school children, that seemed to not get near the attention that this is right here. I mean, that hands down, that is unequivocally a tragedy. Nobody's gonna say, "Oh no, this doesn't quite match up with it." No, nobody out there is going to defend that.
Right.
Whereas here, you got a lot of controversy. That's.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to be on any other side of that one.
Well, and also people only get upset about what they're told to get upset about continually over and over again.
Right.
Instead of, using this and this and getting upset about what those tell them to get upset about.
Propaganda's a bitch, man. They use it because it works.
Drink your Ovaltine. That'll be in our next episode. That's a surprise for the next episode that'll be coming out Monday evening.
Stay tuned.
On that note, I'm about to go eat some pumpkin cake with cream cheese ice cream. Cream cheese icing on it. So, is there anything else you want to cover before I go partake in that? Or
no, I feel like we kind of dipped our toe in a couple different things, but if we're getting out and we're in it, the last thing I'll end it with is my prayers with the Kirk family, all the people. I just that's tough. That sucks. It's pretty shitty.
A lot of people affected by that, and I really do hope the best works out for everyone there, and I do not want any more. Nobody needs to be kicking any hornet's nest from any angle, any side, one way or another. People need to just chill out.
Yeah.
And just chill out. Realize that most people have got their own shit going on. Everybody's going through the same stuff. Everybody's going through different stuff. And you have no idea what that man's walking through right now. So, never instantly write off to, we'll say, something malicious that can be written off to ignorance or somebody simply just being in their own zone. And
yeah, agreed.
Not to get too duty.
I mean, those are some fat facts, baby. That's just, don't go looking for a fight and treat people the way you want to be treated. It's pretty simple. Don't be an asshole for no reason. If somebody earned it, sure, but don't go around just looking to fuck with people, man. That's not cool.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
I don't understand the reference. I'm the dude.
I'm Brian, baby.
Y'all have a good one.
We're out here.
Try to figure out how to end this out.